For the first time in the general election, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission seeks to eliminate the possibility of financial advantage in electoral competition for individual candidates or political parties. All political parties are required to spend up to 15 billion shillings each in a single election. The parties cannot receive more than 3 billion shillings from a single source.
Every candidate, every political party has a duty to report, the same way you report for your tax compliances. Yeah, how does the government know how much you're supposed to pay tax if you're a businessman? You're the one who go and declare, say, I've done this much business, yeah, I've made this profit, you are audited, and then you're taxed accordingly.
Presidential candidates are required to spend up to 5 billion shillings only in a single election. Traditionally, this amount is not prescribed, and it is estimated that a high-stakes election like the one in 2013, a candidate would have spent over 10 billion shillings.
It's only the candidate himself who has no limit. If I finance my campaign, but anybody who contributes towards my campaign, he can only contribute up to 20%. If anybody contributes to a political party, he can only contribute only 20%.
Spending by governors too has been checked. The highest spending candidate for governor, senate or women representative will be in Nairobi County, where one will be allowed to spend up to 400 million shillings. In Parliament, Mandera South constituency has the biggest budget of 33.4 million shillings, while Lamu East has the lowest with about 2.3 million shillings. Counties have been factored in too, and candidates for county assemblies in Elwak South will spend up to 10.3 million shillings, while those in Tubi are allowed to spend as little as 67,000 shillings.
You can have a budget of 15 billion and nobody contributes towards your budget at all. So it is how well you sell your policy. It's how well a party or a candidate sells his policy and how he convinces somebody to contribute towards his campaign.
So how did the IEBC reach these figures?
Mainly, the factors that we have considered are the population in the electoral area. We have also considered the number of people in a given electoral area. So the variation moves or vary with those factors and the pricing of those services which a political party or a candidate will require to spend on in the campaign.
IEBC says these figures are not supposed to be contributed by individuals, but also by their supporters who buy into their policy. This is the reason a governor whose annual salary and allowances is under 20 million shillings and total earnings for a 5-year term is less than 100 million shillings can still finance his campaign up to 500 million shillings. While the ceiling for receiving donations is not set, the expenditure is expressly defined. Any additional money will be donated to a charity of choice. This will be the first time such a law is put to practice in the country. However, for this law, it was ready as far back as 2013. However, like every new thing, there are challenges anticipated, such as those of implementation and compliance, something the Commission says they are ready to deal with. Ken Mijungu, NTV.